So we are working on the ultimate Fishfinder holder here, and I've got a 9/64 Allen key. That's the size of all the bolts for this battery holder. And you can see this is a 9mm here, and all of the nuts are nylock, so they'll handle the vibration. So take a look at the buckle construction, and then you can see that how I have this rigged up. We've just got it there, and then I have that little strap to keep that locked in, and then these are just set up so I can wrap them up and around the pontoon boat. And I use this extra buckle here so it gives you that added security plus the ability to adjust it. Just wanted to show you guys those buckles a little bit further. That's the part number I found. They take 1-inch wide strap, and then we're going to wire everything up with these Wagyu clips here. Nothing like that day when there's that one tool you buy that one time to use for that one thing, and that day shows up. Alright, we'll try that again. So just want to show you the inside of the cap on this. You can see that we're just starting to wire. And basically we've got everything bolted up and situated. Still need to get some of those PG connectors installed. But basically all the mechanics are done. Alright guys, let me show you this Fishfinder holder I've been building. So what we've got here is a little box on the float tube. Got the straps set up, and as you come over here you can see I've got my couple of different lights, and then we're going to have some USB power. It'll be battery powered, and then the side of this is where my transducer plugs in. Here is the positive wiring harness. You can see here that I have an 18 to 12 volt transformer, and it's a 15 amp max. So this is where you hook the positive and negative for your 18 volt Milwaukee or whatever power tool battery you want to use. In our case, we're using this device right here. In this case, you can see there's a negative and a positive battery terminal there. So on the Fishfinder, it allows you to hook the positive and negative from this up directly to the battery as long as it's fused. This is the end of that cable, that positive and negative. So there's my fuse, and I just need to hook this negative wire up. So the Fishfinder will be on the 18 volt system. Now the rest of these devices, these are control lights. I'm not going to have them light up, but I've got a horn, and I've got headlights, and I've got right and left green and right lights for the boat. The way that this harness works is you have a master negative common, and then this is my 12 volts, so I've got 18 that will come in here, 12 volts will come out, positive 12 with a 15 amp fuse. Then I come down and I neck these fuses down to smaller glass tube fuses, and then this is the horn fuse, and they just come over, so there's one for each switch, and I've got also one for the horn. So the way this gets wired up is the two headlights, their positives are joined together, and they go to one of those positives on there. When I say it goes to a positive on there, it has to go through a switch. So we're back at this lid. So for instance, this will hook to that positive, and then the other positive coming in here will be from source. So we'll have power coming to here. The switch will send power out through this, send it to this red cable here, which then goes through these two lights because their positives are joined, and then they go back out through the negative common, which comes out this wire here, which needs to hook all the way back to that common right there. So in this box, it's fairly simple. All the negatives are hooked together from the horn, from the left light, and from the right light. Positives for the front two are brought together to go to a switch, and the positives from the left and right light are hooked together via this cable, and they come out here and they go back to the other switch. So if you think about it, you've got to have positive coming into this light from a switch. Same with positive into this light. Even though these two lights are wired together, they're in parallel with each other, and the headlights are in parallel, and the horn positive is in parallel. But they all need to come back through a switch, which is why they each have their own wire right there. And then everything, all the negatives from all these lights in that horn, just go back through there. So hopefully that's simple enough. And I'll show you what that looks like once it's all put together, but it's going to look like a big spaghetti monster. But if you get a real good look at the wiring harness, just realize each one of these branches is fused. It's fused coming in, and each one is fused going out. One is for the left and right light switch, one is for the headlights, one is for the horn, and the other one is for the USB. The USB doesn't need a positive switch because it has its own built-in switch, so it's just a positive and negative right directly to the back side of the USB port. Okay, this is what everything looks like when it's all put together. You've got your positive coming in from the harness, and then you carry through the switch over to those lights. Same thing for that one. There's your positive and negative from your harness. And then the only wire left to hook up is this negative back into that negative common. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, I wanted to share my latest creation here. This is a Fishfinder holder I've been building out for my float tube. It'll work good on a pontoon boat. Also work good for ice fishing and even a regular boat. Got this adjustable transducer height here too, so you can really drop that pole down in the water quite a bit and rotate it in the direction you want. One of the other cool things about it is I've got a kill switch for the battery, so we can take everything out. And then I've got this USB. So there's two USBs here and a USB-C with a voltmeter. So we're running an 18 volt power tool battery, and it's an 18 to 12 volt converter. So running my Fishfinder on the 18 volt setup, and it's fused. And then we're running everything else on the 12 volt system. So what's cool about it is we've got our starbird and port lights. We've got our regular headlights. We've added a horn here. I've got a new horn coming. That one was broken. And you can see our strapping system here with the buckles. And we've got two straps here so we can go up around the float tube. Then I've also got a quick disconnect for the transducer. Okay, let me show you how the quick disconnect works. So go ahead and pull that cord right here for me, bud. Yep, and then go ahead and pull it out. So you push in on that button and then pull your transducer, and the whole thing slides right out. The cool thing too is it's adjustable, so you can set the height whether it's on a boat or like an ice fishing hole. So anyways, just thought I wanted to share that. I've got that kill switch there on the battery, and we'll play around with this more this summer and see what we can get it to do. We're pretty excited. If you hear us out there tooting our horn, say hi. We'll hit that kill switch. Thanks for watching.